everyone. Today we're going to be coming into some yoga poses that emphasize the lower body, our hips and glutes and all of that good stuff. So let's get into it. I want us to first just start off with some breathing. If you aren't as familiar with your deep breathing, Ricky has a great video describing 3D breathing very well. It's very similar to our yoga breath, so I will place a link in the video description here. We won't spend too much time discussing breathing here, but again, that video with Ricky is absolutely amazing. I highly recommend looking at it, maybe doing it before you do these stretches or doing it any other day when you're resting or just sitting on the couch. Go ahead and incorporate that 3D breathing into your daily life. All right, so we're just gonna get into that breathing here. We're gonna move around a bit, get directly on our sit bones, sit up nice and tall, root the hips down into the earth. Feel the spine elongate as if I had a string on the top of your head and I was pulling it up. The navel is drawing in as I inhale, and it's drawing out as I exhale. I'm sending breath into my ribs, and I'm letting it all out. Hands can always be to the knees, up or down, to the heart center. Just sit up nice and tall, and we'll take a few more deep breaths here. Try to gain more and more control of this breath. The shoulders are softened back. The face is soft as well. Good, we'll take one more slow breath together. Let's hold on to the depth of this breath throughout the rest of these stretches and poses. As always, I have 2 yoga blocks and a strap. You may need them or you may not need them. They're always optional here. For the straps, you're always welcome to grab a belt or resistance bands, anything like that. We're gonna come into our first pose. Baddha Konasana, bound angle. I want this to first be a passive bound angle, so I'm not going to worry about tucking my feet in towards myself. And I'm just going to grab a hold of the feet, allow yourself to round as you come into this bound angle. Take a deep inhale, and then just as deep exhale, start to fold down. So if you can, maybe you round enough to get the head in the feet opening as if it's a bowl for the head to rest in. And then just notice as you breathe if you can start to come in deeper. And again, I just want this to be a passive bound angle. Don't worry about getting down. Don't worry about having a flat spine. Just let yourself drape down over the legs. We'll be here a little while longer. I always recommend to do the poses for around 30 seconds each, or hold them as long as you want, push pause, hang out here longer, do them more than once, the poses, completely up to you here. Let's take one more round of breath, trying to fold a little deeper. Let's inhale, come up. Now I'm going to pull my feet in closer, taking more of an active bound angle. Grab a hold of the tops of the feet again. Take a deep inhale. Deep exhale, fold. Now as I fold, I'm going to mindfully try to have a flat back here. So my chest is pulling forward as I inhale, and I'm folding down as I exhale. So if you notice, I'm not quite folding as deeply as I was from that passive bound angle, and it's because I'm trying to maintain this nice aligned spine here. Top of my head, down to my tailbone. One line of energy here in our upper body as we continue to use our breath to fold deeper and deeper. Deep inhale, pull the chest forward. Deep exhale, fold. Each and every breath I take guides me into this pose deeper and deeper. As you notice, I'm really able to get deeper into this fold as I exhale. Let's take one more breath here together. Slowly inhale, come out. Good. And let's just move the feet a little bit closer apart. We're going to take some slight butterfly motions here. Inhales to lift the knees up, and the exhales to lower them towards the ground. You can just hold onto the feet, the ankles, wherever feels comfy here. And just small movements. They don't need to be fast or anything like that. Just small, simple movements here. Keeping the chest up, shoulders back. All right, good. Let's come into another stretch here. I want you guys to bend your left knee and reach that ankle towards your left hip as best as you can. The foot can splay a little bit more outward. I'm going to place my right ankle right in front of my left knee. Start to walk the hands back, and you should already start to feel a stretch. If you don't, lower it down to your forearms. If you still don't feel a stretch, lower all the ways down to the back. You can always reach the arms over the head. Get a nice good stretch all over body here as you reach up. If you want to still come deeper, you can bring the right ankle on top of the left knee. This side. So the more we pull this heel towards our hip, deeper stretch here on this left. The more we weight over, we'll start to, and this knee coming towards the ground rather, the more we'll start to feel an even deeper stretch here. So I'll be here a little while longer. Again, settle into the version that feels best for you here in your practice today. Know that it can always be different. Again, just stay mindful of what this ankle's doing, what that ankle, so right and left ankle, what they're doing, and just staying as mindful as possible. Hands are just where they feel best here. Or if they're on the ground, leave them there on the ground. And really just take this moment to enjoy lying flat on your back. You can always grab a blanket to rest under you, under the head, under the hips, under the whole body. Always what feels comfortable for us. But again, just try to enjoy lying flat here, absorbing, breathing, stretching. Let's slowly start to come up. If we lower to the back, bring the elbows to the ground, push the palms to the ground. Let's lift up, extend the legs, and just sit up tall and pedal them out. Move them around, breathe deep. We'll switch sides here now. Let the right knee bend, reach that foot towards the hip, or again, let it splay outward. Bend this left knee, bring the ankle in front of the right knee now. And again, we're gonna lower down, get a little bit of a back bend stretch, sorry. And then you can lower down to the forearms, lower down all the ways to the entire body here if that feels good. Again, maybe the arms reach overhead. And you can just settle into the pose. You can bring that ankle over to the knee here if that feels good, but feel it out on what you need over here on this side. Again, you should feel this now nice and deep over on the right quad, right side body. Send all of the breath over there to the right side. Keep breathing deep a little bit longer here. One more breath. And then let's start to get up. If you feel like we're not settling into the poses quite as long, please, again, hold them as long as you would like. Sit up, pedal out, move them around. We have those knees bent here for a little bit. We're going to make our way into a tabletop position here now. Bend the knees, bring them to the right or bring them to the left, and roll onto the hands and knees. As I come into this tabletop, what I first want to look out for are my hips and shoulders. Are my shoulders forward? Are my shoulders and hips back? What is my body doing? I want to make sure that my shoulders are over the wrists, that my hips are over the knees, and try not to just hyperextend too much in the elbows here, so maybe putting some slight bends in them if you notice that you are hyperextending. We're going to start to take a calf stretch, so you can bring the left knee a little bit closer towards the center here of where the hands are, And then we're going to bring the right foot to the ground. Ball of the foot to the ground here, and we're going to press into the ball of the foot. Come forward as you inhale, press back as you exhale. So we should feel this really deep in our calf here. That's exactly where we want to be feeling it, I should say. So just breathing. Inhale's coming forward. Exhale's pressing back. We'll do that a few more times here. A nice active stretch for the calves. Last round. Exhale, push back. I'm going to lift this leg up, and I'm going to place it over to the left side. I'm going to go back and forth here once or twice, breathing deep. And then I'm going to allow this right knee to bend behind the left. So I'll give you guys a better view, sorry. I'm going to bend my right knee and bring it behind the left. And then I'm going to walk my hands a bit closer towards myself and start to sit the hips towards the heels. It's okay if that left knee comes a bit off the ground here. We don't need to worry about keeping it on too much. We're just trying to reach the butt down to the heels. It's okay if they don't make it there, completely fine. That's not what the focus is. It's not about making that connection here today. It's all about getting that nice deep stretch here. Keep breathing. Keep bowing. Keep pressing back. Breathe. Send all of that breath into the legs, into the right side. Last round of breath. Good, let's release out, walk the hands back. Shake out this right leg, move it around. You can pull the heel outward here, and just in general, let it shake out. Bring it back to the ground, both knees to the ground, walk the hands in. Let's rotate the wrists around. We always want to counterbalance here since we were in a lot of extension. Now we want to come into flexion. And hands can always come to the sides of the waist. Really nice and relaxing, again, coming into the opposite position that we were just in on the ground. All right, so we're going to come back to that tabletop here. Walk the right knee a little bit closer in towards the center. Lift up the left leg. Bring the ball of the foot to the ground. Push back as you exhale. Inhales, draw us forward. The exhales, press us back. Let's keep going here, nice and deep. Follow your own breath. So even if you feel like you only get like 3 or 4 in, completely fine here. It's all about marrying our movement to our breath. We want to match that. So if we breathe slow, we're going to move slower. So we may get a few less in that you may have wanted to, if that makes sense, but we don't need to worry about that. It's all about what we're feeling. This isn't an exercise. It's not how many you're going to get in. It's all about how we feel at the end of it. Let's take one more breath. Our inhale brings us to center. Let's pick up this left knee now and place the ball of the foot over to the right. And we're going to, again, take some sways forward and back here a couple of times. And then we're going to let this left knee bend and place it behind the right. Again, walk the hands a bit in towards yourself. Let's start to sink the hips towards the heels. Completely fine now if right knee is lifting a bit off the ground. Just keep walking the hands in towards yourself. Bend at the elbows here a bit. Push back. It's all about what we're feeling. Send all of that breath into the left side. Keep breathing. After this, we're going to make our way into a melting heart puppy. So let's just take a couple more breaths here. Breathing deep. Last breath. Good. Let's come up. Back into a tabletop. We'll shake out this left leg. Move it around. You can pull the heel outward. Move it around. All right, so let's come into that melting heart puppy. I want you to bring the balls of the feet to the ground. I want to keep my hips lifted over my ankles, and the only thing that's moving here is my upper body. As I slide my hands down, My hips are going to stay lifted, and I'm going to melt my chest all the way down, melting heart puppy, as you can imagine when puppies look like this. And if you feel like you're cranking too much to the ground, grab a yoga block. Place it underneath your chest belly area. So instead of pressing the heart to the ground, we're now just pressing it into our block. Hips are still staying high. If arms are feeling tired, bring the forearms to the ground here. Keep breathing. Breathe, breathe, breathe. A little bit longer. Just go as deep as you want. Maybe you start it on your block. Maybe you move it away. And always just remind yourself here, you'll stay in your melting puppy, but let yourself be reminded that we're not all going to look the same in that stretch that we took before. Maybe your butt is completely to the heels, maybe it's lifted up. Completely fine with where you are in this day. It's not even going to be, let's come out, let's come into a downward dog. Might not even be where you were yesterday, it's simply where we are today. Push into the balls of the feet, inhale, lift the hips up, and exhale, melt the chest down. Start to pedal out the legs, bend the knees deep. We're not going to hold a downward dog too many times in this stretching session, but pedal out, bend one knee, reach one, bring one straight, roll onto the sides of the feet. Find what feels good here for you in this moment. Try to pull the heels to the ground, completely fine if they're not quite reaching there. Let's take another inhale, pull the heels up. The exhale to bend the knees, look between the palms, start to step and walk the feet forward. Let's come into a forward lunge here. We're going to bow the body down, reaching the forehead towards the shins. And again, might not look like mine, might look better, or whatever else might look different. So we can grab a block here and push into that, or we can reach down to the ground. It's really going to depend how we feel in this moment. Let's come into a halfway lift by inhaling, palms to the shins or the thighs, shine the heart forward, draw the belly in. You can always, again, have something to hold on to, a yoga block. We just want to make sure we're keeping that flat back and the chest is shining forward here. Let's take another exhale for Uttanasana, forward folds, coming down into our version. And we're going to inhale, push the hips back, come up for a mountain pose. Palms will press in together. On the exhale, we'll guide the hands to the heart. Stand up nice and tall. Belly's in, feet are rooted, that string on my head pulling me up. Let's take an inhale, sweep the arms over the head. On the exhale, press the hips back, exhale. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Ardha Uttanasana, as you inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Let's shift the weight into the right side foot. As we pick up the left heel, reach it towards the butt. You can either step the foot back, or in one fluid motion, reach the leg all the way back. Keep the knee off the ground. We're going to take a runner's lunge, so with movement. You can have fingertips, balls of the fist, palms to the ground, or if you want, you can grab yoga blocks. What we're going to do here is we're going to lean forward as we inhale, and we're going to press back, straighten the leg as we exhale. Lean forward as you inhale, press back as you exhale. Your pace here. As always, you're mirroring your breath. So how slowly, how deeply are you breathing here in this moment? Last round. All right, good. So we're going to bring this left foot flat, bend slightly at the right knee. Inhale, hinge all the ways up, and then straighten out that leg. We're going to take another small step in here and grab a hold of the hips. Don't open outward. I want you to pull both of the hips forward here. So I'm consciously, so take as much space between the feet, or shorten the space between the feet as much as you may need. We're going to pull this right hip back as I press this left hip forward. Take a deep inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold down over the leg. Keep the hips as straight as possible. Guide them there. Fold down. Maybe you reach for the shin or the ground, or you grab your yoga blocks again and just settle in there. Hold in this pose here. Hang out there. What I really want you guys, again, to focus on is that hip alignment. That right hip coming back, that left hip coming forward here. So we're moving the hips in opposing forces so they can meet in the middle. So they tend to come here. We're pulling them like this, mindfully and consciously. They may not look perfect. They do not need to look perfect. It's all about just doing our best to get as close to that alignment as possible so we can facilitate a deeper stretch into the pose, into our pyramid pose or tense side stretch, whichever name you typically call it here. Give yourself one more round of breath here. Good, and then inhale, come into a halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the hips. Inhale, rise up slowly. Step this left foot forward. Come into a mountain pose. Breathe. Pedal the legs here a bit if you would like. Let's do that over on the other side. Inhale, arms over the head. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Now I'm shifting the weight to the left foot, and I'm going to reach my right heel up to the butt. And either stepping or in one smooth motion, I'm going to lower the ball of the foot. Settle in here. Grab your blocks again if you want them. Tense, fists, palms. Let's slowly come forward as we inhale. And let's press back as we exhale. We're mirroring our breath's pace. We're moving as slow as our breath. Let the breath dictate your movement here. Again, don't worry about how many times you come forward and how many times you come back. Feel it out. Feel what feels good for you in this moment. Again, might not be where you were yesterday or where you want to be today or tomorrow. It's just simply here, simply present and tuned into your body. We'll take one more round. Inhale brings us to the center. Bring your right foot in. Bend slightly at the front knee. Take a deep breath. Inhale, hinge up. And then we're going to exhale, hands over the hips. Let's take another step forward, or as many steps forward as you may want to here. Find that alignment. Deep breath in. Deep breath out as you slowly guide the hips as aligned as possible down to the floor, down towards the ground. Again, grab your blocks, 10 fingers, fist, grab the shin, wherever you would like to go with this. We're folding down. And again, I want you guys to hang out in here in your pyramid pose. I don't want you to stay mindful of what their hips are doing. Now the hips are going to look like this. Right hip's going to come back, left hip's going to come forward. Let's pull them in opposing directions here so they can come into an alignment. Facilitating a flatter back and a deeper stretch into this here. So protecting ourselves here and trying to go as deeply as we would like to. Make it as intense as you want. It is called intense side stretch for a reason, so make it as deep as you want. Couple more breaths here. Let's hang out a little bit longer here in our stretch. And then check in with where the hips are too. Mine will start off aligned and then they can become unaligned, so just stay mindful and aware of our body. Let's take our last round. Good. Now inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, rise. Step your right foot forward, pedal out a bit in the legs, hands to the heart, mountain pose, deep breaths. Inhale, arms over the head. And then we're going to exhale, take a quick back bend just because they feel so good. Chest up, you can cactus the arms, push the hips forward. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hands to the heart. So now we're just going to come into one more final pose, our wide separate leg stretch. So I just want you to take a wide step out to the side here. Let's pigeon toe the feet inward. Hands to the hips, inhale. And then exhale, slowly come down. Fold down all the ways here. Separate the feet wider or shorter. You can always grab a yoga block. Press the palms here on the forearms, palms to the ground, forearms to the ground, wherever we would like to go with this. And again, as wide of legs as you want, as short of legs as you want, stay here in your wide separate leg stretch. If it even feels good, you can add in some extra movement here. You can bend a bit in the knees, go side to side a bit here. I get nice little hip pops if you hear them right now. Feels really good. Add that movement or stay still. Another option, you can take a bit of a ragdoll pose, grab for opposite elbows, let your upper body hang loose and sway it side to side. You can even just do this walking the hands side to side here as well. Couple more breaths and then we will be done with our stretch session. Move, find your stillness, fold down. Know that every exhale folds you down. If you are able to get the palms to the ground, you want to try to get them aligned with the big toes and the elbows to bend at a 90-degree angle here, not bringing them outward or anything like that, but just bending at a nice 90-degree angle. Knees can bend, anything that feels good here. Let's take 2 more rounds of breath. Slow them down. Good, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, rise. And just relax. Let's meet down in a seated position here. I want to thank you all so much for joining me, for taking this time to stretch, to come into your practice, your yoga practice. I, again, hope that you all enjoyed it. And as always, from my heart to yours, namaste. Please always stay mindful too. Our bodies are all so unique. They all move so individually. So just be okay with where you are, no matter how you look in it. It's always absolutely how we feel in the poses itself. So thank you all so much for joining. Again, namaste.